Hi, I'm Donald McIntyre, Senior Editor at the ETC Cooperative. This is the Ethereum Classic course, Class 8, Ethereum Classic's Monetary Policy. When checking sources as CoinMarketCap, at the time of this writing, the supply of ETC was 139,080,468 coins and was growing at a rate of 2.56 coins per block. However, as explained in previous classes, in the beginning Ethereum Classic and Ethereum were one blockchain, and the monetary policy consisted of perpetually issuing 5 ETC/ETH per block to pay miners for their work. When Ethereum split from Ethereum Classic on July 20th of 2016, the ETC ecosystem decided to follow a code is law ethics, and this had to include a more constrained monetary policy to guarantee the soundness of the currency. This prompted the community to adopt a new but permanent monetary policy mimicking that of Bitcoin. The change was implemented on block 5 million, which occurred on December 11th of 2017. In this class, we will explain the monetary policy of Ethereum Classic by describing its components, which include the following. 1. The pre-mine. 2. Eras. 3. Block rewards. 4. Uncle blocks. 5. The fifthening. 6. Inflation rate. 7. Supply cap. 8. Stock to flow ratio. We will refer to the cryptocurrency of the original unified chain as ETC/ETH and as ETC or ETH when mentioning them separately after the Ethereum split. 1. The pre-mine. In early 2014, Vitalik Buterin and his founding team did a pre-sale, also called pre-mined, of ETC/ETH to finance the initial development of Ethereum for approximately 18 months. This resulted in the eventual issuance on the Genesis block, before any mining ever took place, hence pre-mine, of 60,009,990 ETC/ETH, which were allocated in July of 2015 to the initial supporters who invested in the pre-sale. To this, the founding team allocated to themselves and the Ethereum Foundation another 12 million ETC/ETH. So, this brought the total pre-mine issuance of ETC/ETH to 72,009,990, and this forms part of the current supply of ETC and ETH in their respective networks. 2. Eras. As mentioned before, starting on block 5 million, ETC changed its monetary policy of unlimited supply to a capped supply model as Bitcoins. The schedule followed was that every 5 million blocks, or 28 months, ETC would discount by 20% the payment per block to miners. In this way, it would resemble Bitcoin's schedule, which discounts the payment to miners by 50%, but every 48 months. This means that in every era, miners would get paid 20% less as follows. Era 1, from block 1 to 5 million, 5 ETC per block. Era 2, from block 5,000,001 to 10 million, 4 ETC. Era 3, from block 10,000,001 to 15 million, 3.20 ETC. Era 4, from block 15,000,001 to 20 million, 2.56 ETC, which is the current era, and so on until block rewards will diminish completely by approximately the year 2140. 3. Block rewards. Block rewards are the method of issuing the money fairly and of compensating miners to secure the network by producing blocks. It is described as fair because the coins are being issued and paid to people and entities who actually perform work for the network. Miners secure the network because their work imposes an enormous cost for any bad actors who tamper with the blockchain. Additionally, the fact that the currency is issued only after performing significant work makes it sound money, as it is unforgeably costly and scarce. Block frequency and block rewards are the key components of the monetary policy because they determine the timing of the issuance, thus inflation rate and stock to flow ratio. For example, as the ETC blocks are produced every 15 seconds on average, and the current block rewards are 2.56 ETC, then in this era, the rate of currency issuance is 5,382,144 coins per year. And this rate of inflation will be reduced by 20% every 28 months. 4. Uncle blocks. As Ethereum Classic produces blocks every 15 seconds instead of every 10 minutes as Bitcoin, there are instances in which more than one valid block is produced by miners at any given time. However, only one block per round may be permitted. So to prevent any disincentive that miners may have for producing extra blocks in vain, there is a payment for these tail blocks, also called uncle blocks. Since inception, there has been a rate of production of uncle blocks of more or less 5.4%, which is approximately 270,000 uncle blocks per era. Uncle blocks were paid 4.375 ETC/ETH in the first era, but that payment was lowered to 0.12 ETC when the monetary policy was changed, and will be discounted together with the normal block rewards by 20% every 5 million blocks. 5. The fifthening. The event of the fifthening is celebrated by the ETC community every 28 months or 5 million blocks, and it happens on the date when the block of the next era is mined. For example, we are in the 4th era and the 5th era will start on block 20,000,001, which will happen sometime in August of 2024. It is called the fifthening because the discount of 20% in each era is equivalent to 1/5 of the block rewards and annual issuance. The importance of the fifthening is that the annual supply rate is lowered, making ETC sounder money as time passes by. The soundness is reflected in both a lower annualized inflation rate and a higher stock-to-flow ratio. Inflation rate. What is called the inflation rate is the rate of production or issuance of new currency per year. When Ethereum Classic and Ethereum were one chain, the annual rate of coin production was very high, at more than 14%, because the base was small and issuance was still high. However, as the ETC eras have been progressing, its inflation rate has been drastically reduced. The production rate in this current era, 4, is 3.91%, which is similar to the production rate of silver. By the year 2032, in Era 7, the issuance rate of ETC will be similar to gold's. And by the year 2036, in Era 9, it will be close or lower than lower than the real estate annual production rate. Inflation rate table. So this is the table that shows the rates that I showed before. These are the eras. And here you see that by block 20 million, the inflation rate is going to be 3.91%, which is similar to silver. And then by the era 7, which is block 35 million, the inflation rate is going to be 1.65%, which is similar to gold. Real estate, new houses, etc. are produced by a rate of 1% per year. So that's the inflation rate that they have, or production rate. So ETC in Era 9, which will happen on block 49 million, will have an inflation or dilution rate of 0.99%. So it's going to be a little bit lower than real estate, the historic production rate of real estate. 7. Supply cap. Given the eras of ETC every 5 million blocks, the block rewards and frequencies mentioned above, the discounts per era, the average uncle block rate of 270,000 per era, and the fact that it is divisible by 0, 17 zeros, 1, which is 1e minus 18, then the ETC maximum supply in all of its history will be in a range of between 199 million to 210,700,000 ETC. The lower number of 199 million reflects the current average production of uncle blocks of 5.4%. But in the unlikely scenario that uncle blocks are produced 100% of the time, then the maximum supply would be 210,700,000. This is why it is generally stated that ETC has a supply cap of 210,700,000, but it's very likely that it will be lower than that. So this is a chart of the most likely scenario where you have ETC supply cap, or the cumulative supply. So it started here more or less at 72 million with the pre-mine on block 0 or the Genesis block. And then from then on, the supply cap increased significantly at the beginning, but then it decelerates a lot, which is in more or less where we are now. And it will tend to 199 million asymptotically. The annualized inflation goes in the opposite direction, so it goes down significantly. This is the axis of inflation. It goes down significantly, and it will tend to 0, and it will reach 0 by the year 2140. ETC stock to flow ratio. The stock to flow S to F ratio is a measure that is used to predict the value of commodities in the market, and is a very similar concept as inflation, but is expressed as the current stock of a commodity divided by the new annual production or issuance. For example, as there are 185,000 tons of gold in the world, and there are approximately 3,000 additional tons extracted every year, then the stock to flow ratio of gold is 61.67, which is 185,000 tons divided by 3,000 tons equals 61.67, which corresponds to a 1.62% inflation rate. The higher the S to F ratio is, the more valuable the commodity should be. As we have fairly accurate projections of the stock and issuance of ETC at all times, because its monetary policy is transparent and predictable, we can calculate that what will be its stock to flow ratio in the future. By 2025, the S to F ratio of ETC will be similar to that of silver at 24.91. By 2032, it will be similar to gold at 59.98. And by 2036, it will be similar to or higher than that of real estate at 100.40. So this is a similar table as before with the same period, eras 4 to 9, and as you can see, but instead of showing inflation here, it shows the cumulative supply at each era and the annual issuance in each era, and then it calculates the corresponding stock to flow ratio. So as you can see, silver is more or less 25, and ETC is going to be similar to silver by block 20 million in era 4, and it's going to be 24.91. Then it's going to be similar to gold at 59.98. Gold is 62, like we said. By block 35 million, which is era 7. This is the year 2032, approximately. And by the year 2036, approximately, it's going to be the stock to flow ratio is going to be 100, which is similar to real estate. After that, the stock to flow ratio is really not significant anymore for valuation, because ETC, like Bitcoin, are going to become practically assets that have hardly any new issuance per year. That's why by the year 2060 it's above 1,000, so it's not significant enough. The stock to flow ratio by that time is not going to be significant. But for now, at these levels, it is significant because it's comparable to the other commodities. Thank you for watching this video, Ethereum Classic course, Class 8, Ethereum Classic's monetary policy. And if you wish to learn more about Ethereum Classic, please go to ethereumclassic.org. Thank you very much.